guys, we're live.
Awesome.
Yeah. So if as people kind of jump on, I want to kind of explain what we're doing today. This is our team. A lot of you guys out there might have met our team. These might be some familiar faces, maybe not, but I thought it'd be really great for you guys to see who is behind all of this. So, first, maybe let's start out with some introductions and maybe who has been on the team the longest. Allie, do you want to kick it off?
Yeah, absolutely. I'm actually so excited to be here. And I just want to say hi to everyone, first of all. My name is Ali. Some of you have probably met me on Zoom. My role here for almost over a year now, actually. My role here is I'm here to help you gain some clarity, confidence, in terms of building and growing your Etsy shop. So if ever you're going to jump in on the call with me, you can tell me what your needs are, and I'll be happy to jump in and help you and give you the best recommendation that will help you succeed with your Etsy shop.
Awesome. Yeah. So everyone here is in the account management side, and we meet with you and go through your Etsy shop when you schedule one of those free calls with us. So that's where we dive through everything. We work really closely together all day. Kayla, do you want to introduce yourself?
Yeah. So I think I'm number 2 in line for how long I've been on the team. And I support people. My favorite part is really helping the creatives of the world, the creatives on Etsy, pair the business side to things. So that's really what my forte is, what I love doing. And it's really cool to see all of the incredible products and designs and ideas people have and actually seeing it come alive. That's probably the best part.
Yeah, and Kayla, she's been with us you're coming up on a year, right?
Yeah, almost a year.
Yeah, and then Allie we're coming up on a year and a half, right, Allie?
Exactly.
Yeah, she was the first person that I ever hired. I was, it was just, yeah, by myself, but Allie was the pioneer here. Nor, can you introduce yourself?
Yes, I'm Nor, so you guys have probably spoke to me as well, and I've been on team for almost a year now. I came right after Kayla by just a few weeks, and I think one of the coolest things is being able to really talk to people like this who are just like starting out their businesses, have so many creative ideas, and being able to bring your ideas to life and help you guys build like a clear path forward on what needs to be done, helping you build your business. And it's so cool just seeing all these new ideas, because I know that as I get to talk to more and more people, these are some unique ideas that I've seen and I've never kind of seen them out there in the world. So it's been a great experience, and I'm hoping to meet the rest of you guys.
Yeah. So everyone here, we basically meet with you, talk to you about your shops. We go through your shops together for an hour every single day. So an hour every single day, 1:00 Pacific time, we are meeting, strategizing about your shops, about the path for growth for each of you who schedule a call with us. So we really take that time seriously, which is why it's important to show up and be ready to learn and be ready to listen and get some guidance and be open-minded to like what is possible. So I thought it might be, first interesting to hear, like, why do you guys even like working with Etsy sellers? Because this is more than just a job. This is, not a cult or something like that, but what is it about working with Etsy sellers and like bringing them in to having this guidance? What is it about that you enjoy? Kayla, do you want to kick that off?
Yeah, I would love to. So like my background is dealing or working with people who are in more of the traditional entrepreneur, solo business type of thing. So I love the fact that we focus on Etsy sellers because I do feel like they're sort of forgotten about. My personal experience is I didn't even know you could make like full-time income on Etsy. And so I think a lot of people are in that position. So just giving people the power to go from a couple $100s a month to, hey, I paid for my family's vacation. Like that's cool because I don't think that there's really anything like that specifically for Etsy sellers. You're basically piecing together things that you saw on YouTube. So that's my favorite part, because where people genuinely felt like this is how much I've made, this is as much as I can make, realize that they can do so much more is really, really cool for me. So that's what I like.
Yeah. And something about this, when you have a call with us where we kind of go through your shop and show you what's possible, it is an investment, right? So we customize everything for you. But we definitely give you options, and it's not like, you're disqualified because you're a new shop or because you're too big, right? We work with shops, people who don't even have a shop, and then people who are, doing 1 to 8 million a year, and they're just looking for more stability and consistency. So one thing that we're doing special today, we're going to put a link in the chat if you're just joining us. And this is a very special link. We've actually never done this ever. And this is where each of these three ladies are going to choose 3 people. So each person is choosing 3 people to get a free extra month of coaching. So we're going to put that link in the chat wherever you're watching. And this is just kind of like a pre-Q4 early Christmas present, we could call it, for you guys. So mention that you were on the YouTube live when you book your call, and you'll get that free month of coaching. And that's unlimited message coaching plus 4 coaching calls a week. Cool. Now, if you have any questions about what these calls are like, or any questions for Kayla, Nor, and Allie, put them in the chat wherever you're watching. But let's go into another question for you guys. How about let's talk a little bit about limiting beliefs and what we see that prevents people from being successful in business. Nor, do you want to take that?
Yeah, so I feel like with a lot of people that I've talked to, I come from a background of like the brick and mortar space and working with a lot of like smaller and bigger business owners. And I realized that if you're kind of new to all of this, what we notice is that you have this self-limiting belief that maybe you might not have what it takes to actually build your business up to $10,000 per month. If you maybe work in the corporate world and you're making anywhere between $5,000 to $6,000 per month, like 10,000 seems so out of reach when you're starting a business on your own. As a solopreneur, like as someone who's doing every aspect of the business, it's so much harder to believe that you can run all the details and nuances of what it actually takes to build a business. And then from there, like actually grow it to something that's like $10,000 per month and multi 6-7 figures, because it seems so out of reach, right? Like all of us have a little bit of a mental block and a cage in our mind that prevents us from thinking beyond what we've previously made working for someone else. So I would say, like, to really push beyond that, we just have to believe in ourselves, to be honest, because you have the power in your hands to really change the trajectory of your life. And if you don't actually take action in doing so, like how else would you even know that you have the potential to get to 10, 15, $20,000 per month?
Exactly. Yeah, we got a really interesting message from one of our students, and I would love to actually share this. Let me go ahead and share this. Now, I'm pulling open our internal Slack channel, so bear with me. This is high risk operations here. Let me share this though, because I think it'd be really helpful for people to see. Now, if you're on Instagram, by the way, go ahead and click on the link in the bio if you want one of those 3 spots that gets a free month of extra coaching. Let me share my screen so you guys can see this, because it really highlights what Nora was saying about limiting beliefs. Let's see how this goes. Okay. All right. Well, this is fine for now, and then I'll turn it off. Oh, wow. We just got a couple comments. Mick Masters Publishing says the coaching is absolutely shop changing. It has been a tremendous help for us. Thanks, Dylan and group. This is a really cool message. Let me see how I can make this a little bigger. Okay. Well, I could just zoom in a little bit maybe. She's basically saying, let me see another layout. Let's see. That's okay. So this is a student who emailed the other day. I've been meaning to reach out to you to express my immense gratitude towards your course, team, community, and you. She's saying that something, oh boy, it's a little glitchy. Something hit me recently after our, let's see. Yeah, after our large goal for this year, and it dawned on me that at this point in my life, I would have never I never would have thought it was possible for me to achieve, let alone think of setting such a large goal for our business and life. You guys, this person came in with a couple hundred sales in their shop. They're doing a couple $100s per month. Okay, they now have over 30,000 sales, over 31,000 sales 17 months later. Replaced her income, her husband's income, and she's employing people. Life changing, right? And she said she reflected on her first full year on Etsy and recall that you always suggested that these milestone goals were possible, even though each time it seemed like a giant leap after another. You never forced goals on us, but simply lent your belief to the point where I started to believe, which was so powerful. When I look back and look forward to the day where I uttered those words that this is possible, I almost couldn't believe it. And she shares that she has just become a new person in this process. And this is just the epitome of what Nora was saying about really just pushing past what you believe is possible for yourself and what you're capable of achieving in that short period of time. She says it goes beyond just the course itself, but it helps us become better people and human beings towards the world and each other. So I just wanted to share this. It seemed pertinent and really kind of highlighted what Nora was saying here.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Let's talk a little bit about if you are doing an Etsy shop by yourself and maybe your spouse is like, what are you wasting all your time on? Or they're like a little skeptical maybe. Like, is this a business or an expensive hobby? If there's anyone watching this who feels like their spouse is questioning their business or, questioning your idea of getting help, let's talk about that. Kayla, do you want to talk about that?
Yeah, that's a big one. And like I said earlier, I personally had no idea that you can make a livable income with Etsy, So I think the most important thing is really getting your partner or the person that's supporting you clear on what's possible. Because this is a business, it is going to take time investment, financial investment to make it work. And the more clear that your partner or your spouse is on the legitimacy of you making a full-time income on Etsy, the smoother you can kind of move forward. The hours that you're spending in your Etsy shop aren't looked at as wasted. The funds that you're putting into growing your business aren't looked at as frivolous because there's that mutual understanding that this is going to be successful. It's going to impact our family, and it's going to give us the financial, breathing room from what I hear from a lot of people that they're looking for. So on these calls, we don't want to just talk to you, the Etsy shop owner. We have to be involved and aware of what you're doing, how we're going to support you, because it's not little touch points. If anyone's already had a conversation with us, that it's like a lot more than you were typically expecting. So have your spouse on the call. Like when you book with us, make sure there's a time for both of you to be on the call. So any questions that come up, me and my husband are complete opposites. So the questions he would ask, I wouldn't even think of. So it's really important to have both of you on those calls and really for you to feel supported as you go through this next step of building your business.
Yeah. And we're all looking for different types of information, right? Like your spouse might want to know, like, what is the ROI? You might want to know, like, what do the coaching calls look like? And different questions, right? So the call is when you get the information. You get all that information. You ask a bazillion questions, and we actually show you visually what it is. So it's not some like idea or concept in your head, but it's really clear. So yeah, that's a great point because, I don't know about you guys, but like if you went to your spouse or partner and you're like, I'm going to buy this thing and like it's a business that I haven't made money with, like, what are they going to say? No, make money first and then buy the thing. Well, we all know at this point, if you're in YouTube University right now, which most of you might be, what comes first, the chicken or the egg, right? Like, I need to make money so I can invest in my business. Well, you're not going to make money because you haven't invested in your business. So that's why we have such very, like, I would say entry level options for you as well. What we do now is totally different. by the way, than what we did 2 years ago when we started. Even when Allie came on like a year and a half ago, it was completely different than our current program. So the current program was just launched this year. Allie, do you want to maybe talk about the difference?
Yeah, exactly. So it changed a whole lot, from what is that, a little over a year ago since I started. It was just Dylan and I at that time. So it was just a course, a simple course, and we have some like a little bit of like community group coaching, pretty much. But as time goes by, we listen to our students' feedback, and we've completely revamped, the program, and now it's completely changed. It's more than just a course, and we now do customized coaching packages based on your needs. So now it's not just Dylan. We have about 15 subject matter experts, 13, if I'm not mistaken, subject matter experts inside the program, plus of course the internal team and us. So we've grown, and that's going to be a lot of support, for you guys. And also we've seen incredible changes with our current students. We've seen faster growth compared from last year over last year. So that's going to be like a big game changer if you ever decide to come in and join us.
Yeah. And the coaching now, some of the feedback was people wanted private coaching because they're like, well, I don't want everyone to see my questions. And I get it. And we listened to that and we moved to an entirely new platform just because of that feedback. So now that platform allows all private coaching. No one ever has to know who you are, like what questions you're asking actually in the one-on-one coaching. And then instead of just one weekly call with me where you like might get questions answered, you now have 4 calls a week. So 4 calls a week, we've extended the coaching period. Some people are doing like 2-3 years of coaching actually in our program right now. Like Nee, I think she has another year and a half left with us, and she's already been with us a year and a half. So yeah, we have completely custom packages. We also do one-on-one calls that you can add on, which we didn't have before. So really, whatever your learning style, like we want to accommodate that. Yeah. Oh, this is funny. We got some comments here. Wow.
It was so great. Yeah, it's a group effort. We're like working on this together. So yeah, I'm so glad you guys are happy.
Yeah. Shelly, yeah, booked a call, was there with her husband. She says, if you're just listening, she says, I made the investment in the course August 10th, and I'm so glad I did. Awesome. Oh, look, we have someone, Ice Wolf. You have a call tomorrow with Allie, and you're looking forward to it.
That's awesome. I'm looking forward to speaking with you guys, Will.
Oh, this is a good, mental block. Okay, so someone has a digital shop. Having a 5K shop is impossible. How do you help people get over those blocks? So first of all, like you have to really be willing to retire all of the strategies and the thoughts and maybe the misconceptions you had about Etsy before, because this is a new way of looking at your business. It's really putting on the business owner hat, putting down, the artist hat or the hobby person hat, and really treating it like a business. So we are teaching you business principles. Any of our team here can tell you these are not just Etsy principles. These are also principles that we apply to our coaching business. So there's a lot of crossover, and just be open to the principles, trust the process, and that's the biggest thing. A lot of people are really nervous to jump in, and there's so much fear, right, of trying something new or not doing what you've always been doing, right? It's uncomfortable, but also being broke and putting in 20 hours a week to make $2 an hour, that's uncomfortable. Like that sucks, right? And what we like to do on these calls sometimes is look at your hourly wage. How much are you making? I know I talked to someone a couple weeks ago who was in retirement, and we looked at her embroidery business, and we looked at it, and she wants this to be a business for her daughter too. And we looked at it and we're like, okay, you're making $5 an hour. Okay, you would be better off working at Starbucks for 10 hours a week than like the 20 hours a week you're doing with this embroidery business. So always be thinking about your time being worth something. We have another question here. Nora, do you want to take this one?
Yeah. I don't think you even need to have a solid idea on what you want to do before entering coaching because I've talked to so many people that have like lasers, for example, and they're like, I don't even know what I want to do yet. I have so many ideas, but I don't know, like I don't have a sense of direction in where I want to take this. And I think that's actually a really good starting point because we're going to help you validate your ideas before you even launch or take action. That way you're basically shortening the learning curve and not going through trial and error. You have us to point you in the right direction rather than you trying it on your own and trying to figure it out and going through trial and error, which is just so time consuming. And I bet you guys don't have time for that, do you?
Yeah, it's a lot. We've had people who, they've reached out about getting help, and then they think, okay, well, I want to start my shop before I decide to get help. So, okay, I'm just going to go start my shop on my own, and then I'll try to get help. 6 months later, we have a shop, we have no customer, we have no strategic product mix, and they end up just having to shut it down and start over. So it's like 6 months, 20 hours a week, kind of wasted. Not, you learned a lot. If you have time to kill, that's great. Like totally go for it. We have people who they're like, I'm retired, I'm bored, I have a ton of money and I don't need money, but I want to be productive. It's like, great. Go, like you have time to kill. That's perfect. Try it on your own. But if you don't have that luxury, I would say, or if you have like kids and you can't put in 12 hours a day with like potentially no return, your time is worth something. So we love catching you before you've opened a shop when possible, just because then you can do everything right the first time. Yeah. Oh, this is an interesting question. Advice to people with competing with each other, conflicts of interest. Honestly, everyone's targeting a pretty different customer, so don't worry about that. It's I mean, we have 3,000 sellers, right? We probably have 60% of them doing print on demand. There are hundreds of print on demand providers. So I wouldn't worry about that. Yeah. What about, let's say, like a new shop versus an established shop? Um, Kayla, what do you think? What would you say to people who are like maybe wanting to see how it goes on their own? Um, Maybe they're new or maybe they're established and they saw a huge decrease and they're like, do I get help or do I try to fix it myself?
Yeah, that's one of the additional benefits of the program. No matter what level you are at, there is guidance, mentorship, and a strategy for you. So if you're just starting out, if you are, I think, Nor, you spoke with someone who saw a 50% drop in their shop out of nowhere. And, it's really about understanding that you do have a cap of your, like, I guess you have a cap on what you can expect, what you know. And so in this program, if you are someone who is experiencing a drop, if you're established or you haven't been able to break through that ceiling, this is the place, because everything, like Dylan said, is not just tied to Etsy, it's giving you e-commerce principles. So that means whatever the economy decides to do, whatever, influencer says, they hate this thing, and now you're prepared. And I think that's the biggest thing. This might sound really harsh, but there are a lot of Etsy sellers who were successful because the period of time that was going on. 2020 shut down. Like if you're somebody who was like, man, Etsy is fantastic, I'm making tens of thousands of dollars. And then as the years have gone on, if you've seen that decrease, it's because you have to have strategies that are rooted for the long term. And that's what we teach you here. So don't feel like even if you're at like high numbers, there's not any value here for you. We're going to help you, like really be bulletproof in your business.
Yeah. Yeah. And as we kind of close this out, you guys, if you have any, interest or like just feeling like, oh, maybe I should see what help looks like, schedule the free call, because if you are one of the three, each person here has 3 people they're going to give a free month of extra coaching to. So just see what it's like, because you don't know what you don't know. And not knowing what the pathway looks like, it just means you're missing opportunity for sure, right? You got to know your options. So that's what the call is about. Now, just as we kind of close out, if someone is feeling like, I just want to think about getting help. I just want to think about it. I'm not the type of person to like do things quickly. I like to like go slow so I don't make mistakes. Nor what would you say to those people who are like, I just need to think about my business more before I do anything with it?
Yeah, such a great question. I think I get this so many times. And I think why we invite you on the call is because we often notice that people talk themselves out of making a big decision like this. And it's like, we totally understand it is a big decision and you might need a few days to think about it, but your fear might take over your mind. And honestly, like that's going to be the mental block that gets in the way of you and your success. So the more you think about it, the more negative connotation kind of surrounds that idea of investing a lot into this business. And then you prevent yourself from moving forward. So I would say, like, if you're really put on the stand and you were given an once in a lifetime opportunity, would you say yes? Or would you say, let me think about it and risk getting that offer pulled away from you?
Yeah. I love Alex Hermosi says, what does he say? He said, every opportunity, it's going to look like a risk. If it doesn't look like a risk, it's not an opportunity. So definitely click the link, schedule that free call with us. It's completely free. We'll just go through your shop, show you what options look like, and then see if it's a fit. If not, we do turn away actually about 40% of people. So if it's not, that's fine. At least you got our take on your shop and you have a clear idea what the path looks like. So really great to have you guys here. Thank you. All right. We'll see you guys later. Bye.